Hello, and welcome to Spoiled Kitchen. I'm your host, Joanna Badano. Today is all about chocolate. We're going to make chocolate cupcakes with an unlikely ingredient. Chocolate is such a special ingredient to cook with. It's versatile, rich in flavor, creamy, and fermented. The chocolate we are using for today's recipe is Rustad. It's a fifth-generation family-owned business in the San Francisco Bay Area and has been here since the mid-1800s. But any high-quality chocolate will do. Before we reveal the unlikely ingredient, let's measure and mix the dry ingredients. In a medium-sized bowl, we're going to mix 2 cups of flour. Any flour will do. I like to use einkorn, but whole wheat, white, whatever you prefer. Then we're going to do a half a cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. And then we have 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. We're going to give this a good whisk to incorporate it all together. And then we're going to set it aside. In order to prepare the batter, we have to get the secret ingredient ready. If you haven't guessed it by now, it's sauerkraut. Sauerkraut in baked goods is a very old tradition. It adds moistness, a slight tang, and a texture similar to coconut. Baking with the sauerkraut will kill the good bacteria, but it will taste wonderful, and sometimes you've just got to treat yourself. You'll need 1 cup of well-drained sauerkraut. I'm gonna squeeze as much of the juice out with my hand as possible. Then I'm gonna mix a half a cup of juice with a half a cup of milk. In the bowl of your electric mixer, we're going to mix a half a cup of room temperature butter. It's important to have all your ingredients at room temperature. Then we're going to mix 1 cup of sugar. Mix this together until light and fluffy. Now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Give that a little mix. And now I'll go my eggs one at a time. Okay, now I'm gonna add my dry ingredients, alternating with my sauerkraut juice and milk. Do a little dry and then a little wet. You want it to be on a slow speed so you don't get flour all over yourself. Okay, so I have my 1 cup of sauerkraut and 1 cup of Rustad chocolate chips. I'm gonna mix this together just until combined. So you may think it's gonna be salty with the sauerkraut, but actually we haven't added any additional salt, so it actually balances out. Now we're gonna make our cupcakes. I like to use an ice cream scoop. It's consistent in size and it's not so messy. You're gonna fill them about 3/4 of the way full. The batter's nice and full of chocolate chips and sauerkraut. And after we get these filled, we're going to bake them in a preheated 350-degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes or until a toothpick comes out nice and clean. Okay, now they're ready to go in the oven. Now we're going to decorate. I'm gonna fill my piping bag with frosting. If you don't have a piping bag, you can also use a Ziploc bag and just clip a corner. That works really well. Okay, we're ready to decorate. I hope you've enjoyed learning about chocolate sauerkraut cupcakes as much as I've enjoyed making them. For details on this recipe and more ideas on how to cook with preserved foods, visit spoiledtoperfection.com. I look forward to seeing you next time on Spoiled Kitchen.